Hi everyone, it's SuNN here. Thanks for joining me for another Fabricate Friday video. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little box. Oh, I have to untie the bow first. But it opens like that. Cute, huh? I suppose you don't have to tie a bow, but it does help. Closes like that. So this is definitely the prototype. I have worked on some of the problems. So the inspiration came from one day I went out with tea with a friend of mine and we ended up having donuts. And these donuts, this is a traditionally Canadian coffee shop, and they have these, donut holes, like the inside of the donuts, that you can buy. They're called Timbits. And that is how I came up with my design. So I will be referring to this box a little bit later so that you can really grasp where I'm coming from. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So we're going to require 2 pieces of cardstock exactly the same size, 9.5 by 7.5. And we're basically, what we're going to be doing is the exact same thing on one piece as you would on the other. Okay, so there we go. There. Okay, so starting with my long side, which is my 9.5 inch side, I'm going to score at 3 and 8.5. And then for the short side, it's going to be 2, 4 3/4, and 6 1/4. Okay, and then same on the other side. Long side, we're scoring at 3 and 8.5. Flipping it round, we're scoring at 2, 4 3/4, and 6 1/4. All right, so today I'm using thick Whisper White cardstock, excellent for stamping, but even more excellent for box making, 3D projects. I never used to make white projects before. But this is, I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas version today. All right. So pretty much same scoring, exactly same size. And we're going to do exactly the same thing on both of them. So I'm going to do the bottom half first. We're going to cut off this square because we don't need it. All right. This is the bottom of the box and the flap that goes inside. We're going to cut off this side, this bit. We're going to cut up this side, and we're going to remove these 2 corners, or these 2 rectangles. And then we're going to do the mirror image on the other side. Okay. So we're cutting off that triangle. Why am I saying triangle? Rectangle. Taking off these 2 rectangles. Cutting down this score line. Cutting off this one. Okay, so this is definitely an advanced project. I mean, not saying that you can't do it if you're just beginning, but there is some measuring and stuff involved. I forgot to cut up. So basically it's 3 inches here. So we are, where's my pencil? It went missing. It went a-walking. Okay. You know how you have a favorite pencil? This is my favorite pencil. Okay, so at 1.5, we're going to make a mark on both sides. So basically, this is the one that I'm making the mark at 1.5. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're making this edge right here. Okay, I'm basically going to cut from this corner to that corner and the same with that. So we're just, it's like wedging out. One fell swoop like that. One fell swoop. Easy, right? And same with this. The Timbits are really good, by the way. They're not like a Krispy Kreme, which is in the States. And their donut is actually, their glazed donut is actually better. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the heart punch and I'm going to feed it all the way through and punch. Same, everything I'm doing on one side, I'm going to do it on the second side. So you can see how that point went in right into the heart. Done. You can use those on another project. The corner rounder. This is an EK Success corner rounder. It's similar to the Project Life one. It's just so that you don't have like a pokey. Right? Makes sense. That's decently close, I thought. Okay, so another bit of measuring. We are going to cut a handle and we want to find what's the 2 3/4 mark. Where's my pencil? Here. And then I might as well make the 2 3/4 mark on the other one as well. Now this is where it can get a little bit fussy because obviously this whole box is pinching kind of together and you want everything to sort of match up, right? So that you know that it's bang on. So that being said, what you want to do I'm just carrying that 2 3/4 mark, eyeballing it. So what you want to do is you want to take your, this is the washi label punch, but I think a word label would do as well. And I'm centering that. And there's my pencil mark that I brought down. Right there. I'm going to punch that one out. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter that I'm close or not so close or whatever, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first one over top of the second one and I'm going to do it again. So it's going to be bang on. Or as close to bang on as I can get. Oh, I cut off a little hair. Whoopsies. Okay. So this is the tricky part. What we're going to do is we're going to measure 5/8 of an inch. We're going to draw a little line. We're going to go up about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to angle it. Okay, so that is what, I don't know if you can see. So the straight line is at 5/8 of an inch, and then it's angling down. And then from that 5/8 of an inch, we're going to cut a triangle. And it's going to be just like that. We're going to do the same on the other side. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. It is handmade, but this is that notch. I'll show you. The notch of that Tim Hortons bag, so that when everything is closed up, it's going to fit into a corner like that, right? So you need it on that slant, and then the cutting the S part is easy, or the rest is easy. So we're going to measure 5/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go down some, and then we're just going to angle out. I'm cutting them both together so that it will all work out in the end. Doesn't matter if this side matches this side, it just means that both of these sides have to, work together. All right, and then I sort of drew out the edge, the shape that I wanted to make. And basically, all you're doing is you're coming in from this corner, you're cutting kind of a circle, and then back to that 5/8 of an inch. So it's like an S with a little notch. And I don't know how else to explain it other than it's like you're going in with a curve like that, and I'm freehanding it. Then I'm coming around, it's like an S. And then I'm coming around and I'm leaving like a tiny little bit, like I don't know, it's like a S, a backwards S. So you're doing a curve out and then a bump, and then you're coming back in to leave a little bit. And look, I'm not even. I can adjust it after. I'm not too worried about it. All right, and there's one other little thing. I just needed to take my little paper snips here, and I want, instead of the heart, I'm going to cut off and make it a teardrop. So I'm just cutting off that round bit on the heart, or that pointy bit on the heart. I know, it seems like it's technical. It's really not. All right. Adhesive. Fast fuse. On both sides. Adhesive. Okay. Let's see. It's easier if I just do it this way. I always find it's easier to line up the score lines to make sure, and actually if you need to, you can line everything up on your grid mat, which will ensure straightness in case your cutting and your scoring is off. And kind of like just butt it up. And then you should be able to close, and it should close perfectly. I got a little glue that's going to stick, so let's rub it off. All right. All right, so what I'm noticing at this point right now is that my bump is too far out. So I'm going to cut the bump. And same with the other side. I probably don't actually have to have the bump, but I found that it sat in there a little bit nicer. There. Perfecto. And it's snug too. Okay, so I'm going to uncap everything here, and just like a regular box, it does not matter what side is which. You just need to put adhesive on the insides of both of the flaps. Just make sure everything is square when you're adhering down. And, whoops, I'm going to have a line of adhesive I forgot to mention. Whoopsie. How can I fix that? I will put a little liner in here and that will fix that. See, nice big strip of, anyway. Okay. But aside from that, it looks pretty much like the Tim Hortons, the Tim Hortons box. So you might have to fuss with it a little bit and find out what is catching. You should be able to have the handles properly in exactly the same place. I think my little mistake was that I had it on the when I was cutting these. I made a little mistake here, and what I did was I had the two pieces of paper as I was cutting, and they were facing both the same way, and you should flip it around so that you won't have this happening. I have to change that. But anyway, I'm not gonna you can fuss with it and make sure that it works for you. Maybe you might have actually find out a different closure too that would work better for a handmade idea, but I still think it's pretty sweet. Okay, so to decorate it, I'm using 2 pieces of fancy foil vellum, which on the front and the back side, and that's 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And it doesn't, like, I don't think there's a front and a back. There's just 2 long sides and 2 short sides. And one of the short sides is 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. There. Make sure if you're using a pattern, you want to make sure that it goes in the correct way. And using the vellum here, I just put adhesive on the thicker lines. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But I thought it was going to be fancy. It looks like a great big candy cane. All right, and I did gold embossing on, I think this is called Tags for You, and there's the For You, and I thought it would look perfect, and I did too, so I'm putting one on the other side. And then I'm going to string it up with a little bit of, or should I string it up? I don't know, I kind of like it without any ribbon or anything. Anyway, that's the project for you today. It was a little bit complicated. I apologize. I just saw this perfect box and I wanted to give it a go. It looks really nifty. Hope you like it, and I will see you next time. All the measurements and everything you're going to find on my blog, sunstampin.com.